Sunday, February 8th, 2026. So if you're looking at a calendar, you know exactly what today is.
Oh, yeah.
It is Super Bowl Sunday. The nachos are probably already in the oven. But stick with us here, because while everyone is fixated on kickoff, we're going to look away from the field.
We are.
Because the real stories of Week 5, the ones that actually shifted things, they happened elsewhere. We're talking snowy slopes, English soccer, and a college basketball court.
It's the classic shiny object problem. Yeah. I mean, everyone's focused on the halftime show, the commercials, which I get it. It's a spectacle.
Sure.
But if you look at the stack of sources we have, the actual sports world is moving in some really surprising directions.
And that is exactly the mission for this deep dive. We are stripping away the jargon. I don't want to hear about expected goals or, cover 2 defenses.
Right.
I want the narratives. I want to understand why a transfer fee in a second division league might matter more than a first division game.
And we have a really eclectic mix. We're looking at the Winter Olympics, a skiing legends, terrifying crash, some massive financial shifts in women's soccer, and a tribute happening literally today that connects the past and present.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We have to start with the hard news, I think, from the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
Usually we want the glory stories, right? The gold medals. But this week, it's a much more brutal picture. It's about physics.
It really is. The headline grabbing everyone is Lindsey Vonn. And you have to set the context here.
Yeah.
This isn't just any skier. This is Vonn, one of the greats.
Competing in the downhill at an age where most skiers have been retired for a decade.
Exactly. She's 41 making this comeback. The narrative was supposed to be about defying age.
But the news is, well, it's not great.
No. Vonn crashed during the women's downhill. And this wasn't just a stumble. According to the reports, she clipped a gate early in her run.
And the impact was severe enough that she had to be taken off the mountain by a helicopter.
A helicopter. Yeah, that's the part that always gets you.
It is. You see them on TV, they look like they're floating. And then something like this happens, and you remember they are hurling themselves down a sheet of ice at highway speeds.
The margin for error is just, it's non-existent.
Yeah.
We clip a gate at that speed, and physics just takes over. You're a passenger.
And for Vonn, this just feels heavier. The whole world was watching to see if the comeback was even possible.
It's a stark reminder of the risk.
Speaking of the whole world watching, the sources mentioned something about the crowd at these games. It seems like the Olympics have become this weird cultural crossover event.
It's fascinating. I mean, beyond the drama on the slopes, the stands are filled with this bizarre mix of people.
Oh, yeah.
The report I saw mentioned J.D. Vance and Jake Paul were spotted watching the U.S. women's hockey team together.
Wait, J.D. Vance and Jake Paul hanging out. That sounds like a sentence generated by an AI.
Right. I can't even picture that conversation. Right. But it highlights the profile of the event. It's not just for sports fans anymore.
But that Vonn crash just grounds you. It reminds you that underneath all the celebrity stuff, this is an incredibly dangerous pursuit.
It absolutely is.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're obviously wishing her the best. But let's use that concept of risk to pivot. Because while Vonn was taking physical risks, there is some massive financial risk, or maybe we call it ambition, happening in women's soccer.
That is a great connection.
Yeah.
We need to talk about the English Women's Super League, the WSL, and specifically the transfer market. The numbers are eye-watering.
Before we get to the money, let's just quickly hit Week 5 results, because it looks like Manchester United is on a tear.
They are looking like a juggernaut.
Yeah.
They just beat Tottenham Hotspur 2-0 yesterday, February 7th.
And that was coming off another 2-0 win, right, against Leicester City.
Exactly. It feels like they've finally found a rhythm, and it's actually their defense. They look incredibly solid. Fallon Tullis-Joyce has been outstanding in goal.
Clean sheets build confidence.
They do. But while the on-field results are straightforward, the real drama is happening in the back offices.
Ugh, the rumor mill. This is where it gets juicy. There's a huge name floating around, maybe coming back to the U.S.
Huge. Caterina Macario. A massive star for the U.S. women's national team, playing for Chelsea.
Okay.
The report that's circulating is that she has turned down a contract extension with them.
Wait, hold on. Turning down Chelsea? That is a power move. I mean, Chelsea is one of the biggest clubs in the world.
That's the million-dollar question. The implication, what everyone is whispering, is a potential return to the NWSL. In America.
And if that happens, that signals a major shift. For years, the narrative has been that all the best talent goes to Europe.
Completely. It could change the competitive balance.
So the U.S. League might be flexing its muscles again. But here's where I need you to explain something, because this next story honestly blew my mind.
Yes.
You found a transfer fee from the second division in England that It doesn't make any sense to me.
This is the ambition context. We have to look at Birmingham City. Now, keep in mind, they are in the WSL2,
Mm-hmm.
the second tier.
Okay, second tier, so not in the top flight.
Exactly. They just broke the transfer record for a second-tier club. They signed a Swedish midfielder, Wilma Leithamar,
And the fee?
roughly 315,000 euros, about 273,000 pounds.
Stop. 315,000 pounds. For a player in the second division, that sounds... I mean, how does a club that isn't even in the top league afford that?
It sounds insane, doesn't it? To put that in perspective for you. Just 3 years ago, summer of 2022, that fee would have been a world record.
For the entire sport.
For the entire sport. First Division, Champions League, didn't matter. That was world record money.
So in 3 years, we've gone from world record to second division transfer fee. What is fueling this? Is this a bubble?
It's a gamble on future revenue. First, you have ambitious ownership. They're pushing aggressively for promotion because they know the value of the team skyrockets if they get up.
Okay.
But second, and this is the key, it's the TV money. There's a new broadcast deal with Sky Sports kicking in.
I saw a headline about that. They're showing a lot of games, right?
118 matches per season. That is massive visibility. And in sports, visibility equals revenue.
So the clubs are spending money they don't have yet, banking on getting promoted and getting that TV payout.
Precisely. It's an arms race, even in the second division. And it's affecting recruitment globally. Just in this January window, 14 players moved from Scandinavia to English clubs.
They're vacuuming up talent because they have the cash.
They have the financial muscle. It's
Yeah.
a gravity well.
That is wild. Okay, let's pivot back to the U.S. and back to the theme of today, Super Bowl Sunday. But I don't want to talk about the quarterbacks playing tonight.
No.
I want to talk about a quarterback who might be more important for the future of the sport globally.
You were talking about Diana Flores.
Diana Flores, the captain of the Mexican national flag football team. I feel like I am seeing her everywhere lately.
You are. She's actually covering the Super Bowl today for TUDN.
Mm-hmm.
But her story is so much bigger than that. She represents a completely different version of football.
I saw a clip of her with Patrick Mahomes, and honestly, the body language was fascinating. Usually NFL guys look at flag players like it's a recess game.
But Mahomes looked at her like a peer. It was a total game recognizes game moment. Before she could even introduce herself, he stopped her. He knew exactly who she was.
He was like, oh yeah, Diana, you play flag football. You're a quarterback too.
Yep. It shows she's crossed over.
Mm.
She's not just a niche athlete anymore.
And she's capitalizing on that. I mean, she has that Run With It commercial where she's dodging NFL players.
Oh yeah, she juked Sauce Gardner. That was classic. That commercial did more for the sport's perception than years of work. It made flag football look cool.
And the numbers back it up. We're looking at what? 267,000 girls between 6 and 17 playing flag football in the U.S. last year.
A 39% increase.
39% is massive growth. What's driving it? Is it just the commercials?
It's a perfect storm. You've got the safety aspect, no tackling. It's cheaper, no pads, no helmets. And now you have a legitimate future in it.
The Olympics. L.A. 2028.
That's a catalyst, right? An Olympic gold medal is on the table. It validates the entire sport.
And we're seeing the NCAA react to it now.
We are. Nebraska just announced they are becoming the first power conference school to add flag football as a varsity sport for 2028.
That is huge. So you're going to have scholarship athletes playing flag football at major universities.
Precisely. It creates a pathway. Before, you played for fun. Now, a young girl can watch Diana Flores and see a path to college, to the Olympics, to professional recognition.
It's shifting the definition of what football means in American culture.
Absolutely.
Okay, speaking of college sports, let's dive into the NCAA highlights for Week 5. We've got some dominance to discuss.
We do. Let's start with lacrosse. If you're a Syracuse fan, you're feeling pretty good about the men's team right now.
I saw the scoreline and had to double-check it.
Yeah.
20-2. Against St. Joseph's. That's not a win, that's a statement.
A total blowout in the dome. Just complete control. However, it was a bit of a mixed bag for Q's. The women's team had a much tougher start.
It was Coach Thorpe's debut, and they fell 9-5 to Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland is always a powerhouse. That is a brutal first test.
For sure. Now, looking at women's basketball, we're getting close to March. The tension is ramping up. What's the landscape looking like in the Big Ten?
It is a gauntlet. As of right now, UCLA is the team to beat. They are undefeated in conference play, sitting at 12-0.
12-0 in the Big Ten is no joke. That conference is stacked.
It shows incredible consistency. But they can't relax. Michigan and Ohio State are right on their heels. The tournament is coming up fast, March 4th to the 8th.
That tournament is going to be a war.
It really is.
But the story that really got me this week, the feel-good story, if you will, is happening right now, today, back in Syracuse.
It's a really special moment. It's happening during the Syracuse versus Louisville women's basketball game. They are honoring Catherine Switzer.
Catherine Switzer. For those who don't know the name, she is an absolute legend. Remind us why she matters so much.
She is a pioneer, in the truest sense. Back in 1967, she was a Syracuse undergrad, and she became the first woman to officially run the Boston Marathon with a bib number.
Number 261.
Number 261. And the photos from that day are iconic.
Because it wasn't a happy moment at the time.
No, it was violent. The race director literally chased her down and tried to physically rip the bib off her shirt, push her off the course, because women weren't supposed to run marathons.
He thought she was ruining his race.
She fought him off. She finished anyway. And today, that number 261 is being raised to the rafters of the JMA Dome.
That gives me chills. You think about 1967 fighting just to be allowed on the course, not to win, just to run.
And then you fast forward to 2026.
And we've just been talking about massive transfer fees in the WSL, thousands of girls playing flag football, sold-out arenas for women's basketball.
It connects everything. Catherine Switzer fighting for that space, created the foundation. You don't get a $315,000 level transfer for Wilma Lightholm without Catherine Switzer keeping that bib on.
You don't get Diana Flores in a Super Bowl commercial without that history of resilience. It's a trajectory.
And it reminds us that progress in sports isn't accidental. It's fought for. Switzer fought for it, Flores is fighting for it, and the owners investing in the WSL are betting on it. It's all connected.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? We promised to connect the dots.
I think the takeaway here is that you can't look at these events in isolation. When you see a scoreline from the WSL or a snippet about a flag football quarterback, realize the business and culture of sports are shifting under our feet.
The monopoly that traditional men's sports had on the big money and prime time, it's eroding.
The pie is getting bigger and more people are grabbing a slice. It's becoming a much more crowded and frankly more interesting stage.
And as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. We've got the Super Bowl tonight. Tackle football, the biggest spectacle in American sports.
Right.
But we just talked about flag football entering the Olympics and schools like Nebraska making it a varsity sport.
It raises a provocative question. With all the concerns about safety in tackle football and this explosion of accessibility in flag, are we witnessing the beginning of a long-term transition?
Is the future of football actually flag?
It sounds impossible now. But look at how much the world has changed since Catherine Switzer pinned on that bib. Impossible things happen when the culture shifts.
Something to chew on while you're dipping a chip into the guacamole tonight. That's it for this week's Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.
Stay curious.